standards. Well, let's speak now to our correspondent, Archana Shukla, who's in Mumbai for us. Archana, good to see you. And look, as we said, the second interest rate rise, and as we're seeing right around the world right now, even though we've got this rise today, many are already speculating about the next one.
Absolutely. And even the market and economists here are expecting that if prices do not cool down in the next quarter, there could be further rate hike. There is an expectation from the economists that before the end of this financial year, the central bank in India could raise interest rates to pre-pandemic levels. And the priority and the focus with that is to tame inflation, to tame rising prices. Like you pointed out, consumer level inflation has been at an 8-year high, with prices of food and fuel rising, affecting household budgets and also reducing the purchasing power of the people here. And that has been the biggest focus point for the central bank at this point in time, to let go of little bit of growth for growth, but to focus on reducing inflation. At this point in time, the balance that the central bank will have to bring is with slowing growth rates in India. Remember, the January to March quarter recorded slowest growth in the last 1 year. That has to be balanced with reduction in inflation through interest rates, because rise in interest rates will affect some bit of purchasing power for the people in the short term too.
Yes, and you will understand, therefore, the concern of many a government around the world that what they can do to try and keep a lid on inflation, and particularly those rising prices for food and energy. What is it that India is able to do? We've talked before, haven't we, about grain export bans, but we were also hearing from the World Bank earlier this week that that is not the way to solve this.
Absolutely. The ban on wheat exports that the Indian government took to cool down domestic prices did help, but very briefly. There was an increase in demand, and because of the extreme heat wave affecting crop production, wheat prices have again gone up. So that really didn't help that much. But the government has come up with policy decisions of taking a revenue hit of about $26 billion by cutting duty on petrol and diesel. That will help bring prices down to 7 to 8% at the pump level. They are giving subsidies and increasing subsidies on fertilizer, on cooking gas, to help farmers and also people from the lower income families to have little more money in their hands to spend. And that is something that the government is doing, but the external factors will also affect the government's move here.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you'll follow that story for us closely. Archana, thank you, as always. Good to see you, Archana Shukla, there in